Top to Quantock.
20.
Not found, and so
Jimmy requires
McEwen
76.
returns for 76 for a 3-1 lead. This would be for the break of throw. And it's going to be 2 in his hand at 8-8 to accrue that break.
Game
And accrue it he does to lead 3-1 and to move him within a leg of victory.
What a fantastic
41.
game. Let's look at all the positives. Jim McEwen has waited till day 3. We thought yesterday was going to be his moving day. This has been sublime. This has been sensational. Double 10 for a stonking 4-1 win. Jim McEwen is on the move. He'll be absolutely delighted with that victory. Chris Quantock's thinking, what on earth has just hit me there? Well, I'll tell you what's just hit you, Chris. Over 105.13 average from the Scotsman. He was sensational. 4 180s, 4 from 6 on the checkout. An absolute delight to commentate on. Big respect to Jim McEwen. Is that the hors d'oeuvre? Because the main course is to come. Top of the table clash. Daryl Pilgrim versus Andreas Harrison. Don't miss that one.
Now Pilgrim leaving himself 52 after 12 in this ever so pivotal 5th leg. You're basically forcing Andreas to do that. His second max of the match. To pile the pressure upon Pilgrim. 2 16s. He's forced the miss. Big moment. Andreas for another break of throw.
And that's why you should never, ever give up in a leg of darts. That 180 put that pressure there, and he's going to get a dart at double 18. What a moment in this game. What a finish. Ice cold through his veins. No reaction. Absolute quality.
Find his way to the top to put him just 2 points off top.
The timing of the 180s in this game has been absolutely key, and what a way to win it. Absolutely sensational dart. Just 5 attempts at a double for Andreas Harrison, but he pings 4 of them at a rate of 80%. But for me, the timing of those 180s, just when Pilgrim was taking control of the legs and the match, that was such an exciting game for many, many reasons. And for the neutral, that keeps the group very, very open. Very, very interesting. You've got to give a lot of credit there to the Swede. But Daryl Pilgrim, he mustn't panic. It's all still in his hands. If he wins his next 4 games, which he's well capable of doing, he still goes on to be the Group A winner. But that makes it very, very exciting. Very, very interesting. Can Jamie Durance stay on the shirt tails of Jim McEwen? He's up next against Benito van der Pas. For Jamie, he's well below where he would prefer to be. But what a moment this could be.
145.
Doesn't get much closer than that.
170.
The fish for Benito. The fish for Benito. The fish for Benito. Oh, it was so close.
Jimmy descends, so you'd expect him to hit one of these darts at double 8. He talks to himself. And he hits it with total aplomb. The huge difference in that game was all about the doubles. Jamie missed, Benito hit. Jamie's shoulders are totally sagging there. He's absolutely gutted, scratching his head. But Benito is just thinking, if I can just now add my scoring power to the doubles, because 4 from 8 is very, very acceptable. For Jamie Durant there, the disappointment of 2 from 14. He won't need to be told. He'll go back, he'll analyse. He needs to come back fighting. The big winner in Section 1, Andreas Harrison and Jim McEwen, they're both on the move. And next up, a big game for Daryl Pilgrim. He wants to get up and running up against the bottom of the table now, Chris Quantock.
Chris, you require 132.
Champagne. Put it on ice.
Game shot on the second.
Serve it all. The champagne finish from Chris Quantock. Pop the cork.
It is your day. You've been through the ringer in this match. But sometimes you have to win ugly. And that at times was ugly. That game had absolutely everything. From Chris Quantock's point of view, he's once again put himself in a winning position, but hasn't been able to execute and sprint through that winning line. For Daryl Pilgrim, he was showing signs of distress, panic, but somehow, by hook or by crook, has got over that winning line, and that is a massive 2 points, taking him to the 20 points, which will be a real motivation for him. And more importantly, a 4-point lead over Andreas Harrison. Big moment in the context of this group. And next up, the very impressive Jim McEwen against the struggling Benito van der Pas.
Or 83.
That's why he looks at this 83. But what I didn't realise was his partner was this guy, and he said, honestly, Glenn, he has carried us all day with darts like that.
On the second leg, Jim McEwen. 76.
Jim McEwen. And this is for the match and really cement that third place.
It's going to be one dart. And it's going to be at tops. And it's going to continue a perfect start to the day for Jim McEwen. It's been resurgent for Chucky on day 3. And a little bit of an ironic celebration as he finally gets the better of Benito van der Pass this week. It was the Dutchman who won the first 2 battles between each other this week. It's McEwen who wins out in game 3. Doing so with an average just under 86. 4 out of 10 when it came to the doubling. McEwen a 4-2 victor then against van der Pass. We're going to take a short break, and then afterwards it's going to be Andreas Harrison in action. He takes on Jamie Durant.
136.
Frustratingly, he looks at the dartboard and thinks, I've thrown my best 3 darts. Just a little bit too late because this guy just does not miss doubles. Silky smooth, ice in his veins. Andreas Harrison's on a march today, and he's saying anything you can do, Daryl Pilgrim, I can do better. I'm right behind you for any slip up that you may do. For Jamie Durance, it's been a tough day, but he must see the positives. Apart from the fact that area of the game he knows he has to improve on, the checkout, 1 from 7. The area where he can take that 88 average right up to 100. But for Andreas, he's an absolute joy to watch. The Swede is on the march. Next up, it's Chris Quantock against Benito van der Pass, and a real bottom of the table clash.
Benito requires 76.
At the tail of the tape for Chris Quantock's week. Totally comfortable in this match. And 1 dart for Benito.
Game shown the third
That
leg.
happens.
Benito van der
Absolutely sums darts up. If you miss
52.
17, 3 or the 19, you've still got a dart or a double, but it's 2 darts at top, so he only needs the 1.
Chris Quantock.
Once upon a time again, he's put himself in a winning position there, nearly gave it away. It was quite a comfortable victory there for Chris Quantock, 4-1 over. Benito is struggling with his game right now. He'll assess what he's doing good and hopefully come back fighting in Group C. For Chris Quantock, the game is there. It just needs to come out. He's began to express himself. When them doubles go, he can be a very dangerous player. And next up, the high-flying Daryl Pilgrim. Hasn't gone as planned today, but he got away with 1 against the struggling Jamie Durant, who'll be looking to put up against the odds here. Back after this short break.
He requires 16.
And it's 8-8 for Pilgrim.
Game
Confident, clean, impressive. Big whitewash victory there for Daryl Pilgrim over the dejected Jamie Durant. He scratches his head and thinks, I know what I need to do now, and what he needs to do is follow the style of this Daryl Pilgrim, who is just absolute top-notch. Just look at that 3-dart average, 100.20. Fine on the checkout. Just a very clean and confident, decisive conclusion to that match. Very impressive. Speaking about impressive, next up, big clash, 2nd v 3rd. It's Jim McEwen versus Andreas Harrison. Just stay straight, sit on top, and lob it over that. Easy.
Show the third leg, Jim McEwen.
The game's easy. Why make it difficult?
Not going to leave himself a finish after 12, and so the door for opportunity begins to open for Andreas Harrison. Can you open the door? Can you open the door?
130.
It's open, all right.
Yeah, one person who won't panic is Andreas. He'll just continue, as I've said many times, to do what he needs to do. It's a fine attribute. You know, we've seen a couple of people show that sign of distress. There's nothing at all. You would think Andreas is 3-0 up. It's a wonderful, and a lot of the Scandinavians have this about their personality. Lovely darts, great riposte, great reply. Great player is the Swede. And Jim has been absolutely sensational today. Don't be surprised if this goes in. It's big fat 17. And it's 1 dart at tops for a very enjoyable, comprehensive victory. I really enjoyed that game between 2 fantastic players. There's the sportsmanship, big smiles all around, because I think both of them knew they played their best games there. It was a really enjoyable match. As we just look at the tail of the tape there, once again 4 from 6 from Jim McEwen. Exactly the same scenario from his first game today. Just another 4-1-8. He's 6 in the match. The whole match just oozed quality. Very enjoyable. The big winner again there was Daryl Pilgrim, who's looking a big odds-on favourite now to top this group. And he could cement that against bottom of the table Benito van der Pas. And that game comes up after this short break. Big up and respect
32.
to Benito van der Pas, as he was a big outsider for this match. And it's 8-8 to surprise us all.
Game shot. And the
Many
match, Benito
congratulations to
van der Pas.
Benito van der Pas against the very impressive Daryl Pilgrim. And that wait for him to cement his place on Saturday night continues. For Benito, is that the moment the belief comes back? There's the numbers, the tail of the tape there. Yeah, 1 from 6 from Daryl Pilgrim has been the big thing that sort of stands out from there. But I'll show some respect to Benito, because it's been a tough week. He never sulked, he never complained. He just got on being professional. Integrity was important to him, and that's a big victory. Andreas Harrison is still in with a chance of Group A, and he's up next against Chris Quantock.
To send Pilgrim through.
Game
Oh,
over
he's
for
climbed the
Chris
ladder,
Quantock.
and it means that Daryl Pilgrim will be at the top of the ladder. He's the Group A winner.
What a partnership.
Six
Who
leg
needs
Chris
Anton
to
Deck?
throw first. Game on.
The perfect dart for Quanny.
140.
That was a bit more than a tunny for Quanny.
140.
Good game.
I hope he makes Saturday night, Andreas. I really do.
140.
Could do with another flag on the wall for Champions Week so far. We've got the flag of Wales, the flag of England, the flag of Germany, of course, in there as well. The flag of the
60.
Netherlands.
Imagine all the thousands that'll arrive from Stockholm to be here Saturday night.
My.
180.
Superb darts from Quantock. And for the fear of repeating myself, feast or famine. His last 9 darts, 140, 140, 180 for Quantock.
An 11 darter against the Swedes. Well, that's the name of the game.
Chris Quantock.
Stop it.
Will be success. He'll win the battle. He won't win the war, though, because Pilgrim has topped the group. But this would be some way to finish. We've already seen him win a game this week with a 106. And we're going to see him do likewise here as he gets the better Chris Quantock by 4 legs to 3. Will be success. He'll win the battle. He won't win the war, though, because Pilgrim has topped the group. But this would be some way to finish. We've already seen him win a game this week with a 106. And we're going to see him do likewise here as he gets the better Chris Quantock by 4 legs to 3. And so Andreas Harrison, whose fate in Group B is now confirmed, gets the better Chris Quantock by 4 legs to 3. We're going to take a short break. Upon our return, it's Jamie Durance in action. He takes on Jim McEwen. Those are stats from Andreas Harrison 4, Chris Quantock 3.
You require 151.
151 for McEwen. Yes. Yes. Tops. From blockbuster for Jim McEwen. Light up the blue touch paper in this game. It's needed a bit of a spark, and that may well be it for Jim McEwen. One apiece.
44. Jimmy require 40.
Tough to watch him beating himself up, but the positives, Jamie, outweigh the negatives, I promise. He's playing someone who was playing absolutely fantastic today, and Jim McEwen, another 4-2 victory. Played 4-1-4 for Chucky. Chucky is not so lucky today. It's been quality throughout. Very solid display there. 4 from 8 on the checkout, and that beautiful sublime 151 from Jim McEwen. He's here and he wants to be there on Saturday night. He's going to have to do it via Group B, but what a dangerous player he's going to become. Next up, it's Andreas Harrison against Benito van der Pas.
Andreas require 138.
I feel a feature coming along. Could this be a game winner for Harrison? Oh, yes. Double 12 to finish in style once again.
And
what is it about Andreas Harrison and Tom Plus finishes to win matches? Because so far today, he's won a game of a 120, he's won a game of a 106, and now he ends of a 138 to beat Benito van der Pas by 4 legs to 3. Well, he went through the gears towards the end of that one, did Andreas Harrison. Benito van der Pas will return for action in Group C on Thursday and Friday. We're going to take a short break. It's McEwen against Pilgrim, and this could be an absolute corker.
Daryl, you require 108.
He's certainly not thinking of a last leg decider. He wants to put it away now, but he likes this route for a fat 19. A double 16. That is absolutely sensational. There's the smile from Jim McEwen. That 180 could have put some pressure on there. Love that. He's giving himself a dart. A double 8. Oh, which way is he going? I think that's a miscount.
79.
He's left himself on double 1.
I doubted myself. I've done it a million times. 25, 16 tops, 25, 20 double 18. I doubted myself there. What an absolute sickening to stop you winning 5 out of 5. Is it Daryl Pilgrim's week? Potentially. What an amazing end to a fantastic match. It's Jim McEwen that ran into a 3-0 lead, looking absolutely sublime throughout. He was looking for that unbeaten run, but for Daryl Pilgrim, it's been an absolutely unbelievable week. So solid, very enjoyable, nothing really to separate them throughout that game. Some great finishing, high scoring. Another 4 maximums from Jim McEwen, who can go away today thinking, Group B, I'm coming for you. For Daryl Pilgrim, he's off home, but he'll be here Saturday night. And the final game of Group A, it's Chris Quantock against Jamie Durant, up after this short break.
Daryl has done it. Daryl Pilgrim wins Group A and is the first man through to finals night. It's the last week before Champions Week as well. We'll start with that, actually, because you were in Champions Week Series 1 semi-finalist, so how big will it be for you to get back there?
Yeah, it'd be good because I want to improve on it, so I want to win the whole thing.
And you've been doing good stuff in the PDC as well, so I mean this could be, if your career goes the way you want it to be, the last year you could be in the Motor Super Series, so to get a win is important, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I do really like playing down here, but I was kind of hoping last year was going to be my last year, but January didn't go my way, but I still played well, but didn't go my way.
Just on today, first match was against Andreas Harrison. You knew it was between you two. You could have pretty much wrapped it up then. When he beat you, were there any thoughts of, oh, here we go?
Yeah, there was, and I thought about it too much when I played, because I thought if I do win this, then it almost is done. And that just what happened, unfortunately. But I'm still happy to prevail.
It is done now. We'll take a look at the table just to get confirmation. Top of it there, 2 points clear in the end of Andreas Harrison. But, I mean, we've seen today from some of the other players, Jim McEwen, especially the last one you played, he stopped him winning all 5 matches. So a really good achievement to win that group.
Yeah. My first aim was to be in the top 3, to at least get into the evening group. But, yeah, I'm over the moon to win the group. Over the moon.
And what's the plan between now and getting back here on Saturday?
I'm actually going to go home for a couple of days because luckily I don't live too far away, so I can actually go home. But yeah, rest up and come back strong for Saturday.
Bit of practice or leave him alone?
Not tomorrow. I might have a throw Friday. I'll rest my arm tomorrow. But yeah.
I'm sure the rest of the field will be fearing Daryl Pilgrim on finals night. We've got one more match to come in this group and then a couple of double session days of darts here. Congratulations, Daryl. We'll see you again on Saturday and we'll get the action underway in the last match with Henry and Glenn.
About everything that was not important as Chris Quantock looks at tops.
Game shot on the second leg, Chris
Considering
Quantock.
they're not being good on the doubles so far, these two this week. Both of them are very happy the way they've got to 1-1.
Bill's never going to do that. He was always going to find tops. And Chris Quantock rounds off Group A with a 4-2 success over Jamie Durant, which means it is going to be JD who consigns himself to the bottom of the table at the end of the group. Those are statistics then from our final game of Group A, where in the end it's Daryl who will make the pilgrimage to Saturday night's final. He's the Group A winner from Andreas Harrison in second place. Glenn Durance made his way all the way up to the balcony to have a chat about all the action, alongside on the balcony Chris Murphy.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Well, we'll take a look at that table to confirm those positions as Pilgrim, as Henry said, has won the group through to finals night. Worthy winner, Glenn?
Oh, absolutely. I think it was a good fight between him and Andreas, and Jim McEwen coming back today. But yeah, the rightful winner.
Those two players in Group B, Chris Quantock, Benito van der Pas and Jamie Durant going into Group C. Now, Jamie has lost all his matches today. Difficult position for you as an uncle, but just purely as a pundit, it's all about what you've been saying in comms, isn't it? Remembering you reset to 0, same as everybody else tomorrow.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's what Henry was saying there. But there's elements of the game I'd like to work on with Jamie. But like I said, until he comes to me, I won't. But I just think a little bit more composure without affecting that free-flowing style of his. But at times it was a little bit disappointing. He'd be gutted because he's such an overthinker there. But Chris Quantock could still be dangerous this week.
Was there a little bit of a mistake in really focusing on that first match today, and then when he didn't win that, it just was a hangover for the rest of the day?
And if it was, then he needs to lessons learned. If you do things, then next time make sure that you don't focus specifically on one game. He was desperate for that third place to play Richie Park in that night session there, and they were the kind of things. But he's got the opportunity to play a real legend of Teesside darts in Colin Osborne. There's so many positives to come from this week from him. He can't be too down. You've got to then get the glass half full, come back tomorrow and get into it while everyone's on 0 points.
Well, you mentioned those players. Let's take a look at the groups for the rest of the week. So Daryl Pilgrim, as we said, the winner. He's safe through to finals night, going home, coming back on Saturday. Group B, Andreas Harrison, Jim McEwen, Matthew Edgar, Richie Parkin and Scott Mitchell. Now, that looks like a very tough group. I'm going to come back to it, Glenn, but Group C is Van der Pas, Quantock, Durant, Colin Osborne coming in, Justin Smith, a danger, and Martin Grierson as well. Pick one from that Group B, Glenn, to win the group, because you said you didn't want me to ask you that question.
Pick one. I'll go with Scott Mitchell still. I'm a big fan of Scott Mitchell, but if Jim McEwen... I mean, it's tough, but one name, Scott Mitchell.
A couple of players in there as well, in Mitchell and Edgar, that have commentated here on the Super Series. Of course, we saw Chris Mason go the very last week and win it in the previous series.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Mitchell could very easily still be a professional dart player. Just the fact that he was doubles crippled a bit that end, but also not qualifying for some Euro events. He's probably not at a great senior so far, but he played for England this week and he averaged 96, which was really nice. Be interesting to see how he deals with the situation and being here as well, but I can't wait for Group B.
Yeah, so you can see Scotty Dog make his debut on the Super Series stage tomorrow night, 10 p.m. We will be back from 1 p.m. on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel, Group C getting underway, and then from 3 live on Sporty Stuff TV. But as for Group A, well, it was delight for Daryl as Pilgrim prevailed and he is first through to finals night. Bye for now.